Alright, I got the big electric motor out of the air compressor. It's heavy. Doesn't seem to be very bad. Turns nice and free. There's obviously no brushes on it. I hear a little noise on this side. This side seems pretty quiet. Oh, there's a Zerk fitting right here. I'll guarantee it's never been lubed. Never. Didn't even know they even had Zerk fittings on these things. That's a Zerk, I guess. So the required maintenance has never been done on this motor. What if that's a problem? Bearings don't seem to care. They work just fine. I think I'll have to maybe lube these now. Have to find a Zerk gun and grease it up. It's overdue for maintenance. Let's see here. I need my gasket goop. So, I've got the pump apart over here too. Been working for a while over here today. Cylinder kind of fell off. Yeah, sure. Just like that electric motor just fell out of that hole. So, I was going to put rings in this thing, but these rings are so stiff. If I ever got them out of them cylinders, I don't know how I'd ever get it back together again. So I think I'm going to leave them alone. There's very, very little oil residue in the cylinder. I don't see any way in the world that piston would have been damaged by what I did. So I'm going to leave it alone. You can see the tribodyne oil down in the bottom of this thing. You can see the pistons are well lubricated. There's nothing, no wear on that piston. That one I can't see right now, but pretty simple design. So I'm just going to go ahead and recoat the gasket surface up and slam that thing right back down. I don't see any kind of clearance in the rods. They seem to be good and tight. Everything basically looks like new in there. We got 2,000 hours where we replaced the pump, and we got 3170 on it. So it's got 1,170 hours on it. And I don't really see anything wrong with it. So he just likes breaking reeds. This is the reed plate here. So this is all obsolete. They quit making this air compressor a while ago, this air pump. So they have a replacement reed from another company that gets away from the problems this one had. So this one was held together with a screw right here that held this steel plate that held the reed. These here are the reeds right here, these little thin things. So there's nothing wrong with my reeds. I think they were fine. They're over here in the pan someplace. Yep. Here's the reed. There's nothing wrong with that reed. So the problem is the O-ring is gone. All those things are right there. And then this retaining plate right here definitely is gone. So that went right in there. That had a screw right there that fell out. So I could have one of these made. It's not worth it. That went like that. This screw got loose, started leaking, not pumping as efficiently as it could, which I definitely felt was happening, was a problem. And then this piece here came right out of that piece. There you go. And the little screws are in there somewhere. There it is. That little sucker right there came loose, because that went right there. And that allowed this plate to start going up and down. Oh, there you go. See, that screw is stripped. There's no threads in there. So that thing got loose, and it rattled like that. And the screw just going up and up, down like that, took all the threads out. And then eventually the plate itself broke. But it wasn't sealing very well, so the air capacity of the pump was very low. So it was probably pumping only about half its efficiency at best, if even that much. So at the end there, we were doing some die grinding with a die grinder. Not like this air gun, but this was not keeping up with the die grinder, and die grinder is about a quarter of what the air capacity of this was. So I'm guessing it was really low capacity. So yeah, so those threads there disappeared because this got loose and just vibrated. Finally, this whole plate broke. Once it broke, it dropped down and dropped onto the piston and stuck right there, and that's why I knew there was a problem. It locked up the motor. So anyway, they have a new plate that looks a little bit different, and they rivet this together instead of being screwed, because the screws obviously come loose. At least that one did. And I went through one of these already. The first one I put together, or when I first bought this pump, I bought a rebuild kit for a reed kit, because that's what usually goes wrong with these things. So less than a year into it, it failed, and I put the kit in it. That's why this one's not all green on the outside. Now somewhere I kept the old one. It might be stuck under there someplace, I don't know. But chances are the same thing failed, this plate broke. But anyway, so they have a different reed plate, and then they have a different head, because the way it's poured in here is a little bit different, I guess, chambers. And so you have to buy a head, a plate, and a set of head bolts, and that goes for, let's see, Granger. This is a Granger product, Speed Air. That was 220 bucks, I think, for the head kit. Or was it 258? I forget. It's two different numbers. I think it was 258 for the head, but it might have been the other one. 220, something like that. Yeah, it was one of those two numbers. One of them had the reed kit, a set of piston rings, and some gaskets. That was one kit. And then the other kit was a retrofit kit, which gave you the plate, the head, and the head bolts, which retrofitted this pump to the new reed system. And that's coming from Campbell and whatever their name is, Haas or some stupid name. So it's the Campbell brand. It used to be the cheaper line of Speed Air stuff that Granger sold. So Granger is Dayton, Speed Air, and like I said, Campbell's and whatever the hell their name is. So now the Campbellson is the one that makes the parts to fix the Dayton motor, because that's a Dayton pump, because I got a Dayton sticker on the side of it, which was over here. That sticker right there. So you can get parts for it, but you have to kind of hunt a little bit. Like I said, they got a head kit, and then they got a piston, or they got a ring set, and there's a new piston you get too, and some stuff like that. So anyway, I was gonna order up a set of piston rings and a reed kit and a gasket set, and then order up a head kit, because you couldn't get the head separate. You had to buy it as a kit. So you end up having to buy two things, which means I get two reed kits, but I don't mind having an extra reed. But now that I don't need the rings and the extra reed, I'll just buy the kit here. And this doesn't take gaskets anymore, it just has O-rings, so no more gaskets are needed. So it makes it simpler. So as long as I don't screw up that gasket there, which looks fine, I should be fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and slam that thing back down. I'll at least lubricate the motor, put some Zerk grease in it. That'd be different, I guess. And then I don't know what else I'll do after that. I might take the electric motor down and have it checked out. I don't know, I gotta decide. But anyway, for now it looks like this is good. So I'm just going to put this back together, and I'll get this thing loaded up. And one company, they weren't sure if they had it or not. The other, and Granger had it in stock. It'd be one day away. So, but it costs more. But yeah, I might just go ahead and get it here and get going. So anyway, that's where we're at, and we still got air in it. It was down to 120 pounds, which is shocker. It's just down about 60, and then we used the airline a little bit today, so now it's down to 80. So I had to use the hoist to get the thing up and down and stuff. The electric motor is heavy. And I also got to see about this filter. It looks a little dirty. I'll probably just blow it out and put it back in, but I got to see if a replacement's available also for that. Splurge. And I might even change the oil, but I don't know. It's got Tribodon in it, so I'll think about it. I might not. What oil's in there is good, so who knows? We'll figure it out. Alright, that's it for that. I'm going to put this thing back together and we'll see what happens next.